Hello, listeners. Have you ever felt like you are constantly pouring all your energy into everyone else, leaving your own internal battery completely drained? Why is it that the hardest person to be kind to is often yourself?
Oh, that's such a heavy question, but it's so common.
Right. Today, we are going to master exactly how to love yourself more than anyone else. And I do not mean that in a selfish way. We're going to learn about setting invisible standards, silencing the bully in your mind, and really protecting your energy.
Because, in our modern rushing world, we constantly abandon ourselves. I mean, we shrink to make others comfortable, right?
Yeah, we totally do. We say yes when we actually mean no, just because we want to be perceived as reliable. And eventually, we just burn out.
Exactly. It's a massive problem that leads straight to total exhaustion.
Welcome to Everyday English Flow, daily English practice, natural speaking, and effortless listening flow. I am so glad you're here. We have a very special bonus waiting for you at the very end of this deep dive today.
We do. And before we start, I want to announce that today we have exactly 7 essential points to cover that will completely change how you treat yourself.
7 points.
Yeah.
And this is going to be incredibly practical. So let's jump straight into point one, setting your inner standard. Because before we look at how other people treat us, we have to look at how we treat ourselves, right?
Precisely. The way you treat yourself becomes your standard. It's like an invisible rule you live by, and people can actually feel it.
Wait, really? They can just feel it.
Oh, absolutely. When you deeply value yourself, people just naturally follow your lead. But when you don't, you inadvertently teach them to take advantage of you.
I like to think of it like an inner price tag. If you put a discount sticker on your time, people will treat it as cheap.
That is a brilliant analogy, yes.
Huh.
A standard isn't about money, it's about your energetic value. Let's look at the C1 vocabulary here, the word standard.
Right. How would we use that in a natural sentence?
Well, you might say, my standard is respect. If someone is rude, I step back. You're setting a clear baseline.
I love that. My standard is respect. But, I think a lot of us violate our own standards by accident, like
Yeah.
replying to work messages late at night.
Oh, the classic 11 p.m. text message trap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're half asleep and you reply because you think, oh, I'm just being nice. But slowly, you realize your energy is leaking.
Yeah, and what you're actually doing there is teaching people that you are always available.
Ah, available. That's a tricky word here.
It is. In this context, being available doesn't just mean your calendar is empty. It refers to your energetic accessibility. If you are always available, you have no standard.
But doesn't being constantly available make you seem reliable? I mean, people love a reliable person.
They do, but we confuse the two. Being reliable sounds like a compliment, and it is a good trait. It means you do what you promised.
Right.
But it can trap you in the role of the yes person if you aren't careful. You start saying yes to everything just to keep that reliable label.
Wow. So you sacrifice yourself just to keep a compliment. That leads us right into point two, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Building boundaries.
Exactly. Because kindness needs a limit. If you have a standard, you have to protect it.
And I used to think of a boundary as a massive brick wall, like keeping everyone out.
A lot of people think that, yeah.
But it's actually more like a door, right? Not a wall, but a door. You decide who comes in, how long they stay, and what behavior is allowed.
That is the perfect way to visualize it. So let's define boundaries for our learners. Boundaries are simply your personal limits of what is and isn't okay.
Because if you don't have them, if you leave that door wide open all the time, being too nice can slowly wear you out.
Yes, wear out is a fantastic phrasal verb. To wear someone out means to drain their energy little by little over time.
So an example would be always saying yes to extra work will eventually wear you out.
Precisely. It's not an explosion, it's a slow week. But here's the hard part. When you finally set a boundary, the people around you are going to feel uncomfortable.
Oh, they hate it. They get so tense.
They do. Uncomfortable means feeling tense or uneasy. And people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will definitely feel uncomfortable when you set new ones.
Because you change the rules on them.
Exactly. But it doesn't mean they're evil. They are just adjusting to your new standard. It is believed that raising your standard requires an internal shift first before the outside world catches up.
That makes so much sense.
Okay.
Real quick, before we dive into how to make that internal shift, if you are enjoying this deep dive, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please do.
Okay, so moving to point three. Holding a boundary when people are uncomfortable requires a really strong internal foundation.
It absolutely does. Which brings us to the difference between self-worth and the fragility of validation.
This is a huge topic. I mean, your worth is not up for discussion.
Right. It should never be tied to money or looks or how productive you were today. That is self-worth, your internal value.
But society pushes us toward validation instead.
Yes. Validation is external. It's getting approval from other people. And when you borrow your worth from the outside, you become incredibly fragile.
Fragile, like a glass cup that's easily broken. But here we are applying it to feelings, right?
Exactly. A fragile ego or fragile self-esteem means it can be shattered by the slightest criticism.
It's like, well, it's like handing a stranger a remote control to your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, one click, like one rude comment, and your whole day just shifts.
Well, it's a terrifying way to live because when you are that fragile, you can crash.
Crash. Like a car crash.
Similar, but emotionally. To crash means an emotional sudden drop in mood. You get a bad email and your mood just crashes.
But wait, I have to ask, isn't it human to want validation? I mean, we are social creatures. How do we stop living for the audience?
It is entirely human,
Right.
but you have to actively unlearn the habit of letting that need control you. You have to truly meet yourself first.
Which leads perfectly to point 4, self-awareness and identifying triggers.
You cannot love yourself if you don't know yourself. It's that simple.
So what does self-awareness actually look like in practice?
Self-awareness means noticing your feelings without judgment. It's just observing, like noticing what drains you and what gives you energy.
And paying attention to your triggers.
Yes, trigger. A trigger is essentially a button that causes a sudden, strong emotional reaction.
Like when someone uses a certain tone of voice and suddenly you're furious.
Exactly. That tone of voice is the trigger. And if you have self-awareness, you notice the trigger before you react.
Speaking of things that trigger us, we have to talk about doom scrolling. That's a modern one.
Oh, doom scrolling. This is a very important modern term. It means endlessly scrolling through negative news or social media on your phone.
It's the ultimate battery thief. It will completely drain you.
Yes, drain. Taking energy away slowly, just like a phone battery. Certain habits or even certain conversations are battery thieves.
They really are. Sometimes you talk to someone for 5 minutes and you need a nap.
Right. And cultivating self-awareness is like cleaning a cloudy window. When your mind is messy, the window is cloudy and your decisions are messy.
But when you clean the window, you can see clearly.
Exactly. You start using phrases like, oh, this drains me, I need to protect my energy, rather than judging yourself as weak for being tired.
You just observe the facts. I love that. But when you clean that window, you start noticing some really bad habits.
You absolutely do.
Which brings us to point 5, the sorry habit and silencing the inner critic. Because once you're self-aware, you realize you apologize way too much.
Yes, the reflex to apologize unnecessarily. You aren't actually sorry. You're just trying to make yourself smaller.
Right, like saying, sorry, I might be wrong, but... before sharing a great idea.
Exactly. You're trying to shrink. In a psychological context, to shrink means making oneself smaller or less visible so you don't take up space.
It's a terrible habit. And connected to this is the inner critic.
Oh, the inner critic. This is the bully living inside your own mind. It uses negative self-talk to keep you small.
It really is like living with a bully. But you can't walk away because it's literally inside your head.
And its negative self-talk is relentless. It tells you that you aren't good enough, that you're going to fail.
But there's a powerful way to fight it. I read this amazing analogy. Fear is like fog, making things look huge and scary. Facts are like flashlights, showing what is real.
That is brilliant. The fog distorts reality. The inner critic thrives in the fog.
Right, so you have to ask yourself, is this thought a fact or is it fear? You shine the flashlight on it.
Yes. You evaluate the thoughts objectively. The facts will cut right through that fear.
Okay, so let's say you do that. You silence the critic, you stop shrinking, and you finally say no to someone. What happens next?
Well, usually you hit point 6. Guilt, people-pleasing, and the space for joy.
Oh, the guilt is immediate. It has such a big mouth. It tells you you're being selfish.
Yes, but we need to define selfish. Setting a boundary is not selfish. Saying no isn't cruel. It's caring for yourself.
But people-pleasing makes you feel like any no is a crime.
Exactly. People-pleasing is the habit of constantly sacrificing your own needs to keep everyone else happy, and it leads straight into a sticky trap.
A sticky trap. I love this phrase. What does it mean?
A sticky trap is an idiom for a situation that you get more and more stuck in the harder you try to explain yourself.
Like over-explaining a no.
Precisely. You don't just say no. You write a 5-page essay called, Please Still Like Me.
Yes. I can't come because my car is broken and my dog is sick and I have a headache. It's exhausting.
It is. A C1 level communicator uses kind, short sentences. For example, I can't today, but thank you for asking.
I can't today, but thank you for asking. That's it.
That's it, short and kind. Because saying no creates space for joy.
And we desperately need that space. Happiness is not like a luxury or a dessert you only get after you finish all your work. It's part of health.
It really is, but we often lose that joy to the comparison trap of social media.
Oh, looking at everyone else's highlight reels and feeling like you're falling behind.
Right, which is why you have to protect your energy at all costs.
Which perfectly transitions to our final point, point 7. Energy protection, bouncing back, and forgiveness.
Yes. Armed with boundaries and self-worth, you have to look at long-term resilience.
Because life is still going to hit you hard. You're going to fail or get hurt.
And you're allowed to outgrow people if they constantly make you feel small. You might need to step back.
Step back. That's a great phrasal verb, meaning getting distance from a situation.
Exactly. I need to step back from this toxic friendship because if you don't step back, you will burn out.
And we know burnout is total exhaustion. So when you do face a failure or a hard time, you need to be able to bounce back.
Bounce back is crucial. It means to recover after something hard.
And you don't bounce back all at once, right? I like the tiny bricks analogy for this.
Oh, please share that.
Confidence isn't built overnight. It's built like a wall, one tiny brick at a time. A small win is a tiny brick.
That is a wonderful visualization. You celebrate those small wins. But to truly bounce back, you also have to practice self-forgiveness.
Which means confronting regret.
Yes. Regret is a terrible burden. It's feeling constant sorrow over past mistakes.
It's like carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks everywhere you go.
It really is. And holding on to old guilt doesn't make you a better person. You must choose to put the backpack down.
Put the backpack down. Because, as a very important person once said, you deserve a fresh start.
You absolutely deserve a fresh start. You extract the lesson and you put down the shame.
Wow. If the way you treat yourself truly writes the instruction manual for how the rest of the world treats you, ask yourself,
Yeah.
what instructions did you hand out today?
That is a brilliant question to leave our listeners with. And speaking of leaving them with something valuable, it is time for the bonus.
Yes, the rapid-fire calm word tour. We want these words locked in your memory.
Let's do it. First, standard, your inner price tag or value.
Available energetic accessibility, not just free time.
Reliable, being dependable, but don't let it make you a yes person.
Boundaries, the doors you use to protect your energy.
Fragile, easily broken feelings when you rely on external validation.
Trigger a button that causes a sudden emotional reaction.
Drain, taking energy away slowly, like doom scrolling does.
And bounce back to recover after something hard.
Fantastic. Now, for our calls to action, we want to see who is truly dedicated to their English flow today.
Yes. Go to the comment box right now and write the exact phrase, I stay committed. That proves you finished the deep dive.
And before we go, here is your idiom challenge for the day. What does it mean to bounce back?
We just talked about it. Write your answers and an example sentence in the comment section below.
And please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Keep your standard high and protect your peace.
Until next time, take care of yourselves.